Good evening. Krutik bhai, we'll start now. On behalf of Homeopathic Journal of India Foundation, I, Dr. Pradeep Garge, welcome you all on this monthly webinar platform. My dear friends, as you know, the legacy of NJH is being carried out by AJIF in organizing monthly webinars. Not only that, but the 25 successful practitioners connected with the AJIF are trying to share their knowledge through discussions over Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. The roundtable is famous. We are giving the most important knowledge. We are sharing that knowledge to everyone. But as you know, the post-COVID scenario has changed a lot. And that's why NJH, which was we were printing in the book form, now is being changed in the digital format. AJIF is now digital. Till now, we have published 6 digital issues of AJIF. In the month of April, we came up with the skin issue. Then in the month of April and May, both the skin issues were there. Then June 24, we have got panic disorder 1, but the response and the cases were too much. So we came out with panic disorder 2 in July 24. In August, we came up with the non-communicable diseases. And now in September, nurturing excellence in homeopathy, the Rajkot SSMS seminar is being printed in the digital format. We'll be coming up with anxiety disorders and OCD, then newer imaging modalities, then application of Dr. Hahnemann organon of medicine in day-to-day practice, respiratory distress in children, repertory, wound in the complicated cases, and periodic table 4th row. These are our future digital AJIF issues. May I request you all to join our YouTube as well as Instagram, and you have to attend these interesting webinars which are being there on the monthly basis. Few days back, or just few days back, we have actually given a goodbye to Lord Ganesha. Lord Ganesha is the Lord of knowledge. As you know, knowledge is very important when we are practicing. We have to have that flow of knowledge. And if you don't have that flow, if you get stagnated, then the things become very much oldish. Materia medica and repertory, these are the subjects which are very important. Repertory once upon a time was in book form, in card form, but now as the computers are there, it is now been upgraded to the digital format. So the materia medica is also. But what happens when a so-called boring subject in the college organ of medicine, why it becomes boring? Because it is still in the same format of book. But as you know, if we want to make it interesting, it is the most important, basically it is the most important factor when we are practicing. Must know organon in detail. And unfortunately, what happens, we are not reading organon of medicine properly to the depth what it is to be actually read by all the practitioners and students. So while I was talking with Dr. Krutik Shah in the IJH Foundation, we had a meeting. And as you know, Dr. Krutik Shah, who is the honorary homeopath to the excellency of Honorable Governor of Gujarat, a person who is totally dedicated to homeopathy, the first person, the first doctor, the first homeopath who has created world's most advanced e-learning program in homeopathy based on the vision of Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Ji Modi. Dr. Krutik Shah, who is Gujarat State's first private Shri Sai Homeopathic Hospital at Anand, has received Bharat Gaurav Award at British Parliament, London, UK, Most Promising Homeopath Award at Ahmedabad, International Homeopathic Healthcare Services Award at New Delhi, is the founder of Samuel Hahnemann Academy for Homeopathy, popularly known as SHAH. He is associated editor of the Homeopathic Heritage New Delhi and is the first homeopath in the history of homeopathy in Gujarat to receive the honor from His Excellency, the Honorable Government of Gujarat, Raj Bhavan, Gujarat. So this personality, who is so much actually devoted to homeopathy, has asked why not this organ of medicine why it cannot be in the digital format, why we cannot make it interesting, because that is this organon is the base of homeopathic practice, and we are not looking at it very seriously, right, Dr. Krutik?
Yes, sir. Very right.
Yeah. So in that discussion, this point was raised, and Dr. Krutik told that, okay, no, we'll work out on this, and we'll have to go for this digital organon. So Dr. Hahnemann's digital organon of medicine. What is the concept of this digital organon? How we can utilize this organon of medicine very easily and with full confidence in our practice? So let us have some glimpses of this from Dr. Krutik Shah, who is the proud child of Dr. Hahnemann, right?
Thank you,
So I
sir.
welcome Dr. Krutik Shah on this webinar, monthly webinar of IJF. And please, Dr. Krutik, please share ideas how this organ of medicine can be digital and can be utilized in our practice.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you for the introduction, as well as it is always great to be on the platform of HJIF, which is a family by all means, the closest one. Now, this is something which is, I can say, for the first time, I'm going to share in an extensive way of my 17 years of journey of reading, applying, learning, following, and then eventually preaching Dr. Samuel Hahnemann's Organ of Medicine, which is a pioneer, or to me, it is a Bible of homeopathic religion. It's a Bhagavad Gita of homeopathic religion. So I will tell you that in a nutshell about the work, what I have done, and supported with the cases, you will come to know how this is being used on a very simplified way. Now, basically, the major reason of developing, or we all know that necessity is the mother of invention. The way how repertory is modified into the digital version, we have different colors, we have different fonts. Like in the book version, if we see that all the third degree symptom, second degree symptom, first degree symptom, all are in black color. But the moment you see in the computer, the capital symptoms becomes red, the italics are blue, and the normal is black. What is the difference? Why that has happened? That is technological development in the area of passage of time in the field of homeopathy, especially in the subject of repertory. Mathematics and repertory are highly interconnected subjects. That is one of the major reasons why these two subjects, which are main main and most used in homeopathy, took a lot of revolution. But that is not the case, unfortunately, with organon. And that is the main burning question. Our stalwarts were very successful practicing homeopathy with limited knowledge of Mater Medica, with very limited knowledge of medicine, remedies, with almost no use of technology. But why we are not able to do so? We have technology, we have more number of medicines, we have a lot of advantages available. Still, we are not able to do with the practice with same qualitative consistency. The main answer is wrong application of our principle. And the main book which we miss to follow is the Bible of homeopathy, that is Organon of Medicine. Similar is the situation now. which books to read in homeopathy, whether in Materia Medica, whether in repertory, whether in organon also. Which book to read? We have hundreds of repertory, hundreds of Materia Medica, hundreds of organon. Which book to read, from where to go? Like allopathy, the way Love and Bailey is a textbook of surgery, internationally accepted. Harrison or Davidson is internationally accepted book of medicine. Guyton is for physiology. Gray is for anatomy. That is not the case with homeopathy, because we do not have that international governing body which fixes the standard of homeopathic literature globally. So we are suffering because of impure information. We are suffering from misinformation. So it is always good to, right now I use our broken homeopathy. Right now our homeopathy is broken. It is partially paralyzed because we do not have a single potent voice to the world, including government of India, that why we are not able to represent homeopathy with a single potent voice that it makes the change. So that is the problem, right? Now, these were the problem statement. The main reason of the main journey towards creating digital organ was there are a lot of developments I'm able to see in repertory. A lot of remedies have been added into a rubric. A lot of new rubrics have been created. A lot of things have been done. But that is not the story with the organon primarily. There are people have written commentaries. People, all the stalwarts have written commentaries, but nobody has gone to the textbook itself in order to make the change which is relevant for the present situation. Because now the way organon has written is an obsolete fashion. The way organon is written is now an obsolete fashion now. So ultimately, there is a need to reform, and that is what the digital literature is all about. Digital development is all about. So this is something which is very important, because organon is the root. If you want to take a case, the first thing what you need is organon, because you have to understand which symptom it is needed logically. And then you apply it, then you use it to Materia Medica or to repertory. So the root is organon. If you are missing it out, you are missing everything. Similarly, if you go further, the problem what we are facing now is present era is full of mental emotional diseases, complex diseases, incurable diseases. But the truth is, you will not experience homeopathy's true potential unless you use extensively the book Organon of Medicine, because it's a book of solution of all the problems faced in the practice. And if you do not use the book, you are in a big problem. And using Organon makes that organon, Hahnemann is with you through his organon, through his wisdom, to help you, to guide you. And that is where, that is where the truth is. The way we read the operational manual for using a car or using a mobile or using any gadget, the way we have an operational manual. Organon of Medicine has operational manual for success in homeopathic practice. But that is not being used. Right now, we are reading commentaries. Whether all the legends are doing great work, all the contemporary pioneers are also doing great work in organon. But one should change the form. The reform is needed in the book itself, in the organon itself, because you are reading commentaries, that is their perception towards the organon. Are you meeting Hahnemann dynamically? No. So the problem is our operational manual needs to be modified for the present situation, for the future generation, because now the generation is losing interest in reading. They don't have even enough concentration, right? So now the basic bulb on, you can say bulb on moment for me was a time of using my software Radar I am using since 2004. But bulb on moment was this. If you see the rubric in the like love or unfortunate, how it has been presented, and if you see the same rubric in the software, how it has been, are you able to see the change? There is a drastic change, right? So that made me to realize why this has been happened. That took me to the science of psychology. And science of psychology primarily took me to color psychology. And color psychology is how our mind receives or interprets the colors. And color psychology is something which is now the trend of presence as well as future. We like to see more colorful movies rather than to see a black and white movie. Very simple. And that is where the color psychology is the principle that governs your senses, that governs your interest. And that is where, this is a simple example. Whole repertory I am able to see that it has been produced over edited or graphed or crafted or digitized, whatever you can say, using this psychology, because red is bold, confident color, bold, strong. These are strong symptoms in homeopathy. You can trust them. 3 mark, right? Italics, trustworthy, loyalty, right? And you see black, sophistication, elegance, fear. 1 mark symptoms we don't rely in homeopathy practically unless you have verified. One mark symptom, I don't say we don't rely all the time or we rely all the time. Many times we ignore that 1 mark symptom as well, because ultimately it is not that confident the way it is red or the way it is blue. And that turned out to be the logos of these all the international companies, what is doing great success. So that made me to realize somewhere the area where I need to work for, or maybe Hahnemann is guiding me to work towards, is the organon. The mission of this, work is to make all the students and practitioners to meet Hahnemann dynamically, directly. All the pioneers have written their commentaries. Everyone has written their commentaries with great affinity or great knowledge. But have you been able to meet your father, or are we able to meet our father dynamically, practically? The answer is no. Now students don't even buy organon, Hahnemann's organon. They rely on some contemporary authors. They are good, but nobody is bigger and better than Hahnemann. There are all the stars in the world of homeopathy, but there is only one son, and that is Samuel Hahnemann. Rest all are nothing in front of him. So my intention or the mission of going into this journey is to make homeopaths meeting Hahnemann dynamically and to get the benefit of the literature written all the time. That is where the purpose is. Similarly, the way Materia Medica and repertory has undergone transformation with the passage of time, because they both are interconnected subject primarily. Organon is somewhere being either being board subject or whatever, I don't know, but that has not gone to a development the way digital development every subject, especially Materia Medica or repertory, has undergone. So organon of medicine needs to make a reform in itself using the science or the understanding available today to make the present and future generation of homeopaths better, brighter, and stronger in their mission of healing the sick. And that is where the entire mission started in my life back in 2009 or 10, if I'm correct. That is integrating the knowledge of psychology into the literature of Hahnemann, because every word, I have read organon, I would say more than 700 times in my life. I can finish organon one day. So that made me to realize what actually Hahnemann meant in writing, because many places he's so intense, many places he's so optimistic, many places he's so critical, many places he's so furious. So that is all our emotions. We need to use this. That is where it turned out to be a reality to a situation which made me to develop digital organon. And that is the truth for today. The present generation has lost the ability to read for hours together. People don't hear, people have no interest to read now. If you give them a book, they will not read. Now people have lost the, even in YouTube also, the skip ad, people are not willing to wait even for 5 seconds. They just are ready to put the button and see the video. Span of concentration is going very, very down. So this is something for the present generation as well as for the future, because homeopathy is the future and future is today, either now or never. And that is the bottom line. So this book needs to be reformed in a way respectfully, without missing the links, without editing the content of it. And this is the first word-to-word translation. It is the first word-to-word translation. Not even a single comma has been deleted. Not even a single, I would say, minute information, I would say, has been deleted. In fact, it has been given an utmost care, right? So this is the first word-to-word translation, word-to-word, clearing almost all the problems what readers are facing in the present situation, right? This is only possible if you use multiple infographics, multiple typographics, color graphics, animations using base technology, making the right and left hemispheres of brain working together at the same time. That is what color psychology is all about. That is what graphology is all about. That is all about typography, animations. That is all to make an attention. Because if you're reading in a normal way, your dominant hemisphere will be active. The rest will not be that active. So that is something which is a need. And that has made me to go to more deeper into the science of psychology. And as a result, what I came to know was this. When you're reading, one dominant hemisphere will be active, according to psychology. But when you use multicolor fonts, it increases the concentration. When you use multicolors, it even increases the concentration. When you have a unique type of sequencing, it increases the concentration. Imaginations, linear thinking, facts, thinking of concentration, rhythm, art, non-verbal cues, it is very important. Non-verbal cues help in visualization. All these things have been incorporated into the study of organon in order to make it interesting. I'll give you some demo at the end. How the aphorisms have been respectfully organized using the knowledge of psychology, which creates the interest in the reader. At the same time, because the increase in the concentration while reading, it will go into the long-term memory, especially, or maybe for a between short-term to long-term memory. So that on repetition, it will go to a long-term memory for sure, because I have practiced it out. My students have practiced out. So this is how the entire psychology playing into playing a vital role in order to assess and give benefit to make a boring book to read with great interest. And that is where the entire journey has started and it has come up with. Right, friends? Can I have feedback? Am I reachable to you? Am I audible to you?
Yes,
Are
yes.
you able to follow well?
Yes, yes, yes. Very well.
Yeah, okay. We'll be happy to have feedback from the people as well. I hope I'm not I'm not making the people bored out of this
No, no, no. It is
presentation.
very interesting. This is all revolutionary thinking which you are giving to the public. Very well.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Very nice.
So in this way, digital organon is something which is multiple infographics, color graphics, typographics, animations. The main intention is to have both the hemispheres being active together while reading. That is the bottom line. And what will happen is that on the screen, only a small piece of information will be reflected out of the big book. So if you open organon and if you see 2 pages, you get totally lost. Many times while reading also you will get lost. Where were you? Many times you need magnifying glass to read the footnote. So that problem is practically solved. Only a small piece of information will come in front of you with all these benefits you're taken by the from the science of psychology to get the best understanding out of it. And that is where the real hit is all about. Because I have my organon lectures on my e-learning. I have also given commentaries on organon. Every homeopath has given commentaries on that organon. But dare to be wise. Present situation needs a reform. Otherwise, homeopathy will be, after 50 years, it will be going in gutter. Right now, homeopathy is, as I said the word, broken homeopathy. We need a single potent voice to go ahead and to tell to the world who we are. But that is only possible if you follow the original source from where the actual homeopathy comes. Otherwise, homeopathy has been twisted and turned in these 250 years of time very many times. And as a result, what you are knowing maybe a 10% or a 5% total original homeopathy. So I always believe original homeopathy is simple homeopathy, both to learn and practice, right? Going to next, this is where the point, if Hahnemann would have alive, he would have made a lot of changes in his own organon. Dr. R.P. Patel, one of the pioneer of homeopathy and the person who taught me the basic understanding of using organon to cancer patients. He tells the book which you have read 200, 300 times. I have read it 20,000 times. And I can say Hahnemann has given so many places there is a possibility of development. But unless we don't use it, unless we don't bring the change in the original literature itself, it will be of practically no value. Practically no value, right? So this is how the knowledge of psychology will help you to understand and facilitate the education and facilitate the learning and will help you to get a right hit when there is a need. Because what my thought process is with this organon, whenever I'm seeing a patient, in back of my mind, I'm running with aphorisms. This is a fact. I don't remember materia medica much. I don't remember repertory much because it is a tool. We can use it in softwares, right? But where to find in organon? So when I'm in a consultation, in the back of my head, it is all the aphorisms which are working. And at the end of the prescription, I write which aphorism is working in this case. But that is for me, after having reading of organon for decades together. That I don't want people to go for, right? This is how now the entire journey is being unfolded into this colorful organon. I would say word-to-word translation of Dr. Hahnemann's organon of medicine with great respect, because I know I can be criticized and I'm okay for it. But somebody needs to take a step. There is a commentary, a lot of commentaries available, but what I'm trying to inject here is a thought with which the world should think, using psychology into the writing, the literature of the organon, and as a result, what can happen is that can philosophy is written in a way using the knowledge of psychology. Now, Robert's philosophy being written using the knowledge of psychology. All the organon can be reformed with this concept, and it is very open. Everyone should follow if they are willing to, and I'm ready to help. But it is a mission, a very big one. For only organon, it took 17 years for me, right? Total in making the organon, total organon. What has made me this only 140 page of book, that is aphorism 1 to 294, took 1670 PowerPoint presentations. Into that, as I said, the knowledge of psychology. All these colors have been used respectfully. 235 are capital words. 102 are capital bold word lines. 278 is underlining. Italics, text paints. Text paints are yellow in color, gray and green. A lot of animations have been used. 260, 256 places where English word has been added because now the word is obsolete. Say, for example, thesis. It is obsoleted now, right? So that is added. In a way, this will give you an overall view about the organon if you go from front to back page. Going further, this is an example, a very simple example. You can see the aphorism number 4, how it has been written in a book form, right? This is in a digital form. You check by yourself, which is you are more inclined to read. This is a very black and white truth. And that is what I want, that the world should use psychology, the knowledge of psychology in reforming the original literature of organon medicine. Because organon is logic. Without logic, you cannot practice homeopathy. It is an operational manual for practice. If you don't use it, you are lost. Similarly, this is in total. As I said, 670 PowerPoint presented, multiple colors for good memory and concentration, multiple types of fonts, arrows, animations, everything. Another new concept, what I introduced, is keynote of the aphorism. Keynote of the aphorism, because the way every remedy has its keynotes, every aphorism has its keynotes. Number 1, mission of the physician, aphorism number 1. What is that? That is not the only keynote. If we are able to bring the descriptive information mentioned in the materia medica to the precise index, the way repertory, descriptive materia medica to repertory, descriptive materia medica to keynote materia medica. If you are able to bring that kind of information in a nutshell, probably that is the only way with which only at the summarizing the aphorisms, you will come to know you need which aphorism when. That is the keynote of an aphorism. And it is must. I have a lot of keynotes in my knowledge. I have created a book for that. So ultimately, it is all need of a time, right? The journey of digital to book to digital. Here, precisely, though I am very much open for criticism, but I give my highest tribute at the lotus feet of Samuel Hahnemann. It is because of him I'm able to understand, I'm able to follow, and I'm able to preach science of homeopathy, and I'm able to help patients. These are my honest efforts to reform original literature. By no means it is a critical to the original book. And that is where redevelopment in the original literature in the subject of organon medicine has mission of my life. I don't want to write materia medica. I don't want to work for repertory. I just want to work for organon because I love organon. And this is something I have created a way with which other people can also get inspired and follow, and to create a book using this understanding. It is very simple. It is nothing like a rocket science. Just you need is a basic understanding about that very book, right? Like what I have is organon, right? Being the proud child of Samuel Hahnemann, my efforts is to make everyone to meet Dr. Hahnemann dynamically, being the children of the same father, being the children of the same father. And I wish everyone should learn from Dr. Hahnemann's organon of medicine first, before reading about commentaries from other people. If you understand your own organon, probably you'll be able to understand other stalwarts better. But if you are reading commentaries of the stalwarts, you will learn from them only. You will never learn from Hahnemann dynamically. And you will not meet Hahnemann dynamically. It is their perception. It is a part of the truth, not the absolute truth. We should have absolute truth. And that is where go to the roots to have the best of roots, right? We all know that digital organon, I'm sorry, digital organon is the first version of Hahnemann's book version in the history of homeopathy. Practically clearing all the problems what readers are facing in their day-to-day practice, day-to-day life. And this is where I really feel blessed that for the first time in the history of homeopathy, I am able to bring a change, little of the little, against what Hahnemann has given to us, Hahnemann has given to me. And I feel I am proud child of Samuel Hahnemann by all means. And Hahnemann has blessed me with this idea to make further as a mission of my life. Going as an overview, there are total 15, 16 problems what we homeopaths are facing while reading organon. Writing the book needs certain norms. Digital version don't need any norm. Usually has long sentences. Here, sentences have been respectfully cut without compromising the understanding, and it has been made short for the short attention. Everything is in black color. Here, multicolor fonts, highlighter paints, different designs, arrow boxes, graphics, everything is used to make the interest of the reader, to increase the interest of the reader. Similarly, readability issue is a big problem with organon. This issue is probably totally solved in a digital version, right? Organon is full of complex and ambiguous words. Not infrequent means frequent. Not impossible means possible. These words have been highlighted carefully, conditionally under the dictionary guidance, under the guidance of dictionary, simply because I don't want to compromise the understanding part of this. I'm just here to clear the confusion while reading. Organon, people say, is a dry subject. I never felt like that so far, but with this, people will also feel it is not so the case with digital organon. Organon has tough index of aphorisms, lack of heading. We know, like first aphorism is mission of physician, second is highest handle of cure, third is knowledge of physician, fourth is, say for example, preserver. Can anyone tell which is the title of seventh aphorism? Can anyone tell which is the title of 21st aphorism? Can anyone tell which is the title of 283rd aphorism? No. So one line meaning of each aphorism, the heart, the heart. And the every aphorism is a structure within. But what is the heart? That is one line. You should know. That is what has been created. Short aphorism, short footnotes are okay to understand, but with long, it is very difficult to follow. You need magnifying glass to read, which is a big problem. Here, the idea is being taken care to the greatest possible way. Old terminology, old-fashioned word has been appropriate words have been added into the bracket in order to give great clarity. All the aphorisms with their footnotes have been placed as a footnote. Head note is on the top, footnote is on the bottom. Same is the method I have followed. Original organon is on having a very heavy English language. Actually, what organon we are using is a German translation into English. We are not using German language directly, right? I am on a way to learn German language and I want to meet Hahnemann through his mother tongue only. But that is a different mission of life. But what we are reading is a heavy English language. So that is needed to be understood and cleared. So here, in the bracket, having cut upon it, has a more, it's a simple English word, but cut is my addition. The way repertory has deleted rubrics. If you use radar, it has deleted rubrics. That is how we can use it. Writing the book version is always showing surface of the sentiments. I love you, but what is the depth of the love? What is the intensity of love? What is the commitment into that word? So digital organon with the intensity of different colors, red color, strong, blue color, all this color, yellow color, purple color, all these colors have been blue color, then yellow color. All these colors are giving the intensity of the feeling. That is what can be used, right? Organon is written in a very condensed form. As I said, it is very condensed. It is a book only with 140 pages. Only 140 pages. What I have made is 1670 presentations. Only a small literature is coming on the top. That's all. When all the words which are not clear, which is difficult to understand, using and contacting medical dictionaries has been used like this into the bracket. What Hahnemann has done is unparalleled. I am just trying to do little of the little. And at the same time, every aphorism does not have a kind of a title. It is having no title. It is not to make this kind of mistake. This is danger. Don't do this. Go for this. This is positive. This is negative. This is danger. This is confidence. This is arrogance of an allopathic professional. Everything has been. Organon is a book of emotions, and you need to have colors. You have colors to understand emotions, and colors symbolizes emotions. So this is how it is being used, and at the same time, proving is equal to treating. We do not have gradation like in repertory or in materia medica. If you see original materia medicas, it has gradations. Repertory also has gradations. +1, +2, +3. Even radar is +4 also. Underline. Capital plus underline is +4. So where is in organon? Colors will define their underlining will define their intensity. Colors will define their intensity. Their size will define the intensity. And at the same time, words and phrases or sentences is more in a profound and logical interactive way. That is how it turned out to be in total, you can say. And last but not the least, this is Hahnemann himself while writing the organon, or maybe translated version what we are reading has some errors, has some technical errors. So that has also been made correct with this digital version. That is where something, organon is not having, we all read organon. What is the point? Either we did organon aphorism 1 to 294 or we did commentaries. That's all. But I am coming up with two different ideas. That is bird's eye view, overview of the aphorisms. What I say is about keynotes. And second is deep sea view. All the aphorisms are connected. If you suppose you need to have good, you need to know how to take a good follow. 104, 252, 254, 255. If you use 4 aphorisms together, you will come to know how to take a good follow. This is deep sea view. Deep sea view. This also is going to get incorporated. This is just a development on a process, but I am working on that simply because if you do not know how to use, say for example, how to change the medicine, you don't know how to change the medicine, and you want to Google or you want to search inside the digital algorithm how to change the medicine. I want to get the aphorisms. Immediately, the digital algorithm will tell these are the aphorisms you should use, or you should read and get yourself acknowledged. Similarly, all the aphorisms does not have titles. Like first aphorism has title, 82 has title, 84, 147, 150, 272. That is all okay. Even the group of aphorisms, say for example, 182 to 104. Ideally, it is 83 to 199 is for case take, right? 85, 185 to 203 is for local disease, 210 to 230 is for mental disease. That is all we know. But there are minute nuances, minute differences. One aphorism is grossly different than other. Or say for example, you see guidelines for drug proving and provers is only, sorry, every medicine is unique in this universe. I'm sorry, there are some technical errors. 100, this is, I'm sorry, really sorry. This is 110, 114. Primary second reaction is 112 to 115. So in this way, there are many uniqueness into aphorisms as well, group of aphorisms as well. This is a flat view. The bird eye view is different. The deep view is different. But all these things are coming into realization as long as and when we are working deeper and deeper into that, right? This now give you an idea about, say for example, 247 aphorism. You read this screen and you tell in the chat box, are you able to understand what Hahnemann tells or not? We have time for 1 minute. Under these chronic circumstances, the smallest dose of best selected homeopathic medicine may be repeated with the best, often with incredible results, at the interval of 14, 12, 8, 7 days end. That was first. This is for chronic. This is acute exacerbation of chronic. Chronic disease resembling case of acute disease. Rapid repetition needed when at shorter intervals. This is now for a pure acute. Repetition is needed at very much shorter intervals, like 12 hours, 4 hours, 8 hours, etc. And the acute test, the medical emergencies, every 5 minutes you can repeat. In every case, in proportion to more or less rapid course of disease and of the action of the medicine employed, as is more distinctly and explained in the last. So this is how the entire DO is all about. DO is digital organon. This is so simple to understand. If you read the same literature, you open 247 in a book, and then you see, you will be lost. And this is something which is a need of a time. This is a reform of Hahnemann for the present generation and for the future. Otherwise, people will forget Hahnemann. People will forget homeopathy with the 6 decades, and homeopathy will go into gutter. That is the bottom line, right?
Definitely.
So with this, I close the presentation. Overall, the USP of digital organon is original authentic literature with the best use of technology. Colorful, short, interesting presentation. Infographics, typographics, color graphics, animation using best technology, clinical points, and at the same time, this is for the present generation of people who have lost interest in reading. They have lost interest, forget about organon. They have lost interest in even their interesting subject also. They have no capacity to read for long time together. So every aphorism, only a 10 lines, 5 lines, 8 lines are coming on the screen for you to read. The moment you go next, the another 5, 6 line comes. How simple it is. This is how technology can help you to reform the infrastructure of homeopathy. The way it has done for Matra Medica, the way it has done for repertory, it should be done for organon as well. Right?
Yeah.
Friends, can I have your feedback quickly?
Yeah, Dr. Krutik, Dr. Krutik, I am very much excited with the revolutionary thought you have brought up, and I congratulate for it. But I will like to know how you are going to implement. Can you give one acute case where you have implemented these things, so that everyone will be more interested in reading this book on the digital platform, and they can implement it properly in their cases?
Definitely.
Because we have got more 10 minutes, I think we have got.
Okay, sure. I'll show you a case of one of the memorable case of my life. It is a case of PUO. Just a second. Open it out first.
So this is
only one line of an organon solves the case.
Very nice.
That is something which is amazing for me to realize.
So this is very important, not knowing only Matra Medica and repertory, but organon is most important.
I think if you use organon logically, the organon itself will take you to a mater medica, right medicine. Because if you know which symptoms are important, there are lot of types of symptoms are there, right? If you know which this is PQRS, if you only stick to that PQRS, it will take you to a remedy. Then what you need is just to see a mater medica. That's all. Read the remedy and get yourself acquainted. It's like that. Now, this is the case of extraordinary result with this detailed organon, which I mean, of course, my method of practice is organon based. I am practicing using organon more profusely all the time, I would say. So this is a case in a nutshell. I can tell you, it is a case of piracy of unknown origin, where the child, it is very traumatic to see that a child is getting fever at specific days of the month. That's all. And in that particular days of the month, whatever you do, nothing will work. Child was given paracetamol even to an adult dose, but still the temperature was not supposed to get down less than 103 degree or 102 degree. All the investigations have been made, all the treatments have been made, but practically with no benefit. This child usually used to get cough and cold on and off. She has a problem of speaking, but that is all very common because she is just a kid. Fever since 10 months, all the time, 11 to 15, it used to come. It's with massive intensity, 104 degree fever. Child is playful in the night. Next day morning, on 11th of the month, she hits with a fever. She gets a hit with fever. Till 15th, whatever you do, fever will not go. On 16th, automatically, fever will go. That is a kind of you can say a biological clock within the body, making the patient suffer between 11 to 15. As a result, the child used to get severe immunity issues, health issues, and she was losing weight. She was very poor by immunity. And all these 5 days of it takes her even a month to recover till the next episode comes and breaks her immunity even bigger and better. Bigger and bad, I would say. Night starts, high grade fever. Daytimes, relatively low fever. Whatever you do, fever will not go down. Fever is almost practically less or practically normal during the day with the medicines, but next day in the night, it is intense. What is the diagnosis? The diagnosis, this kid, the parents showed to multiple pediatricians and eventually it was diagnosed as PU with practically no hope at the end because the child was hospitalized many times. A lot of investigations have been done. Practically nothing found out. And as a result, the homeopath was consulted. Usually homeopathy is consulted at the end only. These are a few of her symptoms. Wide discoloration on the face. The pale spots are very common. Hard stools, stubborn child, tantrums, likes to travel. There are good symptoms, but strong fever symptoms were practically not that much. She is basically a hot patient, loves water. On an average, you can say, practically she was a very curious and very high IQ person. Right? In a way, everything have her knowledge of, her IQ level, curiosity is far beyond than her age, I would say, what I observed in total. Desire, banana, ice cream, milk, hot patient, very much perspiring during sleep, perspiration, talking, teeth grinding. But these are very vague symptoms if you see the acute totality. Because acute totality is equal to possession and expression leads to prescription. But that was not the situation. So as a result, since I was having lack of acute symptoms, except a few, I took everything together. And these were the symptoms which was taken. I was completely lost with the information. Which remedy to give? Sulfur, phosphorus, pulsatilla, calcareca, natrum, ignatia, belladonna, noxomica, no clarity. Then, as I said, I always refer to organon. So with this case, it was a case of piracy of unknown origin. Between the two episodes of fever, that is 11 to 15, the child used to be normal, practically normal. So between the two episodes, if a person is normal, it goes into intermittent disease. In intermittent disease, it goes to intermittent fever. And intermittent fever has a specific aphorism that is 252, 241, 242, 243 also. There are a few episodes, aphorisms of it or on episodes of intermittent fever. So immediately I contacted Organon, and the digital Organon gave me this point that we have now to do with psoric intermittent fever will gently and subtly removed by rarely a repeated dose of sulfur or hypersulfur. So that was a moment of enlightenment for me, because this is something very important, because for me, the repertorization was showing sulfur on the top. And the patient was hot. So hypersulfur is, as you know, very, very chilly. So I decided to have a prescription of sulfur. Now you see the result. 201 dose, fine. Follow-up 16th July, low-grade fever. Means she contacted me just a day prior to her episode of fever. Fortunately, the sulfur worked well. Low-grade fever, felt better. Overall better. No. Then again, I'm waiting for the August month to come with 11 to 15. Better. Now I'm in a danger zone. 11th now. Here I expect a fever because 11 to 15 was the time for fever. No fever. No major complaint. Placebo time. Done. Next week. Now next month. Sorry. Okay. 1st September, better. Told them to have 11 to 15 if you have problem. 19, no fever. Case was completely cured with sulfur 1 dose, only on the line mentioned in the organon that psoric intermittent fever can be settled with single dose of sulfur or hypersulfur. Now, psoric intermittent fever, this case was pyrexia of unknown origin. All the reports were normal, so she is primarily a psoric patient. Practically, this made me to get a great hit, and as a result, the case is declared cured, totally cured. She was being referred to all the pediatricians, to the pediatricians who were treating her. Practically, the case was totally cured. My mistake, but was a possibility because I had no other option. During the rise of intermittent fever, I had to prescribe sulfur, but fortunately, it acted well. Otherwise, it is contraindicated. And as a result, this is the benefit. Practically solved, non inutilis vixi, Dr. Hahnemann. That is how I can tell you that the organon, digital organon, will make a revolution into your practice to the highest possible level nobody can even imagine. And that with this, I conclude my talk, and I am thankful for all the audience for your patient listening, and I'll be happy to have questions now.
No, definitely. This is a eye-opener, because if you use this organon properly, definitely in the book form, it is very difficult to remember all these things. There is no title, then the headings are not proper, and the text is also sometimes it is not proper, and then you get exhausted while reading. So this is, I am really excited, and I must congratulate you for this wonderful initiation that you have taken for making this organ of medicine very interesting, so that all these budding practitioners and all the practitioners, not only budding, but all the practitioners will take help of this organal, and they will be very successful in their homeopathic practice. And this is really a challenging mission, actually. But I will suggest that if we can make some more revolution by adding some mathematical hints along with that in the latter editions, then it will be more useful to the practitioner. So there is one, I think, comment was there that China should have been used, I think. But this is what general condition, or when there is intermittent fever, we try to give China as one of the most important medicine. But when Hahnemann has given, and this is proved with your case, we have to accept that these are the instructions which are given by Hahnemann, which are pure sorry. So you have to give that. We must follow this.
And also, China can be given supported by totality. It is not a random shot we are supposed to give. We are supposed to give. China has to be supported with totality, supported with PQRS. To break intermittency of China is a different. I would suggest Dr. Akshita to read 276 aphorism, where Hahnemann talks about periodicity with China, with toxicity, and at the same time, the tautopathy comes from that particular aphorism. So China breaks the periodicity. It is something which is, if you have a intermittent fever of all the three paroxysms, heat, chill, sweat, and and you can give China, but you have to be guided by totality. Totality is the boss. Totality is the final court of appeal. And with this, practically, the totality was supporting sulfur. That is where you should go for it. And again, as I said, it was very difficult situation for me to decide. But that single line written by Hahnemann made my way through, and eventually give me a great success. They are still my patients. I am treating them. So the child has the child has not developed. I think she is now 13, 14 years, I guess. She has not developed fever I mean this kind of fever again.
Yeah, definitely. So we must get the totality of the symptoms. We must differentiate the disease according to the psoriasis, syphilis, psychosis, or whatever the case is there. And then with the help of organon, we can solve these cases prettily. So I think if there are no questions, I really thank you, Dr. Krutik, for this wonderful, revolutionary, I will say revolutionary, definitely, the thing, challenge which we have accepted as a mission to make organon more interesting and to be a proud child of Hahnemann. So I again congratulate and thank you for this wonderful session. And I think we'll conclude with this. And thanks to all the participants who have participated and because the number of participants was constant. There was not a single drop from it, whatever it was there, but it is a wonderful session. Thanks a lot for this session. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Thank you very much. And thank you especially to Dr. Garge sir for taking out time and doing the
This is
wonderful
HIF.
moderatorship.
This is our mission to
Yes.
enlighten everyone. Thank you.
Yes. Yes.
Good
Thank you,
night.
everyone. Thank you very much, sir. Bye.
Good.